Hey guys, how you doing? It's Just Hoops back here with another video, and it's finally time to bring you the performance review of the Nike KD12. So if you guys saw my earlier first impressions, you know that I was super excited for the shoe. Really just thought it was going to be a great performer. We'll find out if it is, so let's get right into it. Starting off with the traction, as always, it's a translucent outsole and it has little nubs going multi-directional, and this thing is a dust magnet, unfortunately. I was watching a couple other reviews, seeing what other people said, because I was like, man, this picks up a lot of dust. The traction is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, it just picks up a lot of dust, so I was constantly wiping at least. And I played on 3 different courts, and none of them are necessarily pristine, but they are well maintained for the most part. And this really was very dusty. I hope you guys can see that, at least a little bit of the dust on there. I don't know if you guys can, but it was pretty rough. So I was constantly finding myself wiping. You get a couple good stops and then you have to go. But even when it is very dusty, you don't completely slip out. You're just going to not stop on a dime right away and everything like that. So just keep that in mind. I imagine the solid rubber will be better. I'll probably pick up a pair depending on what colorways come out and things like that. But the traction, it was adequate, definitely above average, but picks up a lot of dust. Without that dust pickup, it would have been top tier, but unfortunately it just pick up a lot of dust. Moving on to the cushion, like we said in the original overview, there's little holes in the cushion, and that's because it's caged all along the side, so it can't really expand outwards, so it kind of expands inwards with the holes. They start off like this and they become a little smaller so that the cushion can actually be implemented or be used. But the main part of the cushion is the strobel board being removed in this shoe and replaced with a full-length articulated zoom unit. That really does make a difference, because right when you step in, you can feel the cushion underneath your foot. I mean, just it's so plush and very nice. And full-length zoom is my full-length zoom is my favorite cushion setup, and I really do appreciate what they did here, because you could feel it when you're just walking around, and when you're running, you feel that little plush, like that pop, that spring, and it's very nice, and I absolutely love it. This is hands down my favorite cushion I think I've ever played in. The KD9, like I said, it's my favorite shoe of all time. This is rivaled with it right now. Like, I mean, this is great. I think the KD9 had better traction, but that was on a solid rubber outsole. I had like the turquoise pair and I had a black pair. Those are both solid rubber outsoles, and those both performed a little bit better with the cushion. But other than that, with the traction, but besides the traction, I think this shoe tops it, and I'm waiting for that solid color outsole. So the cushion is absolutely fantastic. It's just a Phylon midsole on this side, just exposed Phylon. It's pretty hard to touch. It's a little bit of squishiness when you push against it, but it's not anything like React or Boost or anything like that. But that full-length zoom you can really feel, and also there's a double stacked heel zoom unit. So when you push down, even though it is caged all in the back, you can really feel compression, and I mean, it feels nice. This cushion setup is absolutely amazing. I would say it's better than LeBron 16, which I have played in, and that's the only thing I can really think that's pretty close to it. The Marquee Boost, I've played in. I don't own them, but I have played in them, and that's pretty good as well. But Boost bottoms out, not quickly, but it does bottom out. The full-length zoom does not, which is really the plus for me, and that's the selling point for me. Moving on up, you see you have this TPU. I'm at a loss for words right now. Sorry, I'm just so excited to review the shoe. A TPU shank plate like type thing going along the shoe, and that really helps because it's nice solid, and when you're making those moves, it really does keep your foot locked in. But we're going to talk about the upper real quick. It's a screen mesh, which feels okay to the touch. It's not anything special, and they have their quad axle flywire running through that, and let me just say, this fit is absolutely amazing. That's one of my favorite parts about the shoe, is it's so snug against your foot. It feels like you're not wearing anything, and I absolutely love it. It's a double back screen mesh, so there's like a layer of screen mesh or something like that along, and then on top of that is the quad axle flywire, and then on top of that is the screen mesh on top that you're seeing and feeling. Not premium, but gets the job done, and it's lightweight and breathable, so I have no issues with it. That doesn't really matter to me. The only thing I don't like is the tongue is plush, so that's nice to see, so the laces don't really hurt your feet, but it kind of pops out when I'm tying it. It's a little bit too big for my liking. That's just a minor gripe. It doesn't really matter to me, but overall it's pretty good. Another thing is with the laces, I found myself they're pretty short, so it's like when I crank the laces down and still I don't even have a lot of lace to tie with. Unfortunately, I don't know why that is. But sometimes they'll come looser, so you have to make sure you retie them from time to time. After, you know, a couple games, I was playing 2 to 3, I would retie them. Not a big deal, but just something to look out for. On the inside of the shoe, you have some Achilles pillows, which is very nice. That keeps your heel locked in, and they have an internal heel counter. Like I said, that TPU going along the side really does help with the lateral containment and heel lockdown. Also, these little Phylon pieces coming up right here, when you're making lateral cuts and things like that, the KD11 was terrible with that lockdown, but these really do secure your foot. I've had no slip outs, no coming off the footbed. I've been locked in the whole time, and that's absolutely fantastic to see the upgrade since the KD11. One gripe I have, this is the left shoe, but with my right shoe, I had the same problem with the Jordan 30, and I don't know if you guys remember that, but I do want to do a review on that shoe because I think it's very underrated. But anyways, with the Jordan 30, they had a plastic like toe cap almost, and on my right shoe, it would kind of blister one of my toes, and that's the exact same thing here because it's a little bit of this rough mesh, which is like almost the same thing. It gives me a blister on one of my toes. Minor gripe, I have to be playing for like 4 or 5 hours in order for that to happen. It's not like it just happens all the way, but I do play a lot. I played for this in the shoe like a week straight. I probably put over like 30 hours or so in this shoe because I play every day for the most part, and just hours at a time. Not only pickup games, but like workouts, so simple drills. So I'm not just, you know, in-game experience. It's for everyday movements and things like that, you know, you might not do in-game. So I was really testing the shoe, and it held up very nicely. I know a couple people said they had a little bit of fraying. I had no fraying on mine, which is very nice to see because it means the rubber's pretty durable. It's pretty hard, but I wouldn't take these outdoors because I just feel like it's not good enough to last outdoors. It'll wear away very quickly, and then you just spend $150+ on a shoe. So let me just wrap this up and give you my final impressions. Final impressions, sorry. The shoe is absolutely fantastic. It is now my top performer that I've played in this year. This is in my constant rotation. I will absolutely be grabbing another pair in a solid color if the colorways are nice. I appreciate you guys watching the review. Till then, it's Just Hoops. See you in the next one.